Russia and the United States are all set to hold their third round of diplomatic talks pretty soon, and this time it would be in Moscow. Now, confirming the developments, Russia's ambassador to the United States, Alexander Darchiev, has said that the next round of talks will aim at the easing of tensions between the two nations. Now, Darchiev described the talks as a preliminary decision that is aimed to address what he calls irritants in the bilateral relationship. He also mentioned that the recovery of the Russian-American relations is still very distant, and has added that the process has been hampered not only by the opponents of the White House, but also by the hawks in the Congress, where he alleges an anti-Russia lobby exists. The latest consultations come after two previous rounds held in Istanbul on the 27th of February and the 10th of April, and both countries have been working to normalize embassy operations and to ease diplomatic hurdles. While the Russian delegation was led by Darchiev, the U.S. delegation was headed by Senator Coulter, the Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for European and Eurasian Affairs. Notably, after the first round, Washington approved Darchiev's nomination as Russia's ambassador to the United States, and subsequent talks have resulted in mutual assurances over banking services for diplomatic missions and progress towards easing the visa as well as mobility restrictions for diplomats. And amongst Moscow's priorities remains the swift recovery of Russian diplomatic properties that were confiscated in the United States. The war in Ukraine has triggered the biggest confrontation between Moscow and the West. Last year, senior diplomats in both Moscow and Washington said that they could not recall relations ever being worse. Now, Russia's recent bombardment of Ukraine and European Commission's new sanctions on Moscow has only escalated the matters. The American President Donald Trump has warned the risk of Russia-Ukraine war escalating into an all-out world war. Moscow, however, remains hopeful that the upcoming talks will help restore a functioning diplomatic relationship between the two global powers.